lacrosse action tonight. The Saints in their white jerseys with the emerald lettering and trim will face the Six Nations Rivermen. They've got the black jerseys with the white shoulder caps and lettering. This is for first place overall in the standings. Mike Atwood crouching in. He goes against Mike Miller, and it's going to be Atwood winning it all the way back to Grant Crawley, who starts this game in net for the Saints. Saints with first possession. They run right to left on screen to start this opening period as they start to work around the horn. Immediate move to Kyle Matisse, the big news coming into the building here tonight. And shot clock about to expire here for Dylan Lord. On his wrong side, takes the shot. Matisse is going to stay out on the floor now. Wearing 46 with the yellow-headed stick. Wearing number 16 down on the bench for the Saints. The other big acquisition coming into tonight, Shane Adams, who had played earlier with the Oakville Rock. And there's an outside shot on the Rivermen's first possession. They're running right to left on screen, pardon me, as the Saints will go left to right here in the opening frame. Corey Bomberry up top, works it to the far side. Return back for Holden Weiss. He's trying to back his way in. And right away, Matisse gets involved. There's a pick. Looks off. Bland goes to the shooter spot. Goes in. Crawley with the save. Johnny Ray with the rebound. Sidearm pass all the way up. Dewey Porter gets that, and you can hear Warren Hill helping out. Matisse takes out two Rivermen. No call on what looked to be a moving pick. There's a save from Hill with Shane Adams right on the doorstep. Rebound controlled up the far side. Danny Weiss into the corner. He gets double teamed there. Combined check of Torrey Van Every and I believe Brad Favero is the other man involved. Now coming over to help out Andrew Tober. 3-on-3, and as the Saints player drops down, Favero, they're going to call him covering up. I thought someone was on top of him. No. Pardon me, that's not Favero. We'll have to get a number check there on the number 12, which normally worn by Jordan Helpby. We were told he wasn't in the lineup here this evening. Travis Hill up for Kyle Matisse. Matisse looking for an outlet. This is Favero up top. Dropped it momentarily with Murray Porter all over him. He elects to go down deep for Jeff McNulty. Another one of the big off-season acquisitions for Dave Colburn. And Mike Atwood trying to stop the 30-second violation. Let his D guys get on the floor, and those staying on get back. He did that. Flipping it up off the glass just close to where the bench was. Bomberry looks in front. Coming up to step in the shooting lane was Blue Hill. Bomberry has to pass off. He goes for Holden Weiss. Over for Wayne Van Every. Van Every's pass tipped away, picked up by Travis Hill. And it's been a game of the defense so far in the first 4.5 minutes. Dylan Lord wheels over the top, gets away from Stu Martin, gets the shot. And Warren Hill with the save, kicked back to the goaltender. That was Brock Boyle. And referee John Sutcliffe has a bit of a discussion with one of the Saints players who wanted an over and back call. Sutcliffe joined by Dale Sett down on the floor. The boys in black. And as they come in front of us, Sutcliffe says there was no intention. That's why the over and back wasn't called. Now we've got a moving pick. As Marty Hill picks up the pieces, he's going to hobble off. He got a pretty big brace on that left knee, and that looks like the extremity he's favoring as he heads off to the bench. Favero here had a lane open up, but didn't take it. Now as Matisse goes through, he's got the stick wrapped up by Murray Porter, and this ball works over to the half boards. Danny Weiss from Mike Miller. Fresh man off the bench is Wayne Van Every as those two go to complete the change. Bomberry wheeling around the top. Into the corner now, comes back near side. Tom Montour streaks down. Holden Weiss got a little too close to Grant Crawley there and looked like John Ray and Mike Atwood both took exception. Dylan Lord, the one-hand drag over the blue line. Stu Martin was on him. Now he gets back to the correct side of the floor. Pick and roll here, going through Blue Hill. Warren Hill goes with him, and they call Blue Hill in the crease on the rebound as it goes up into the crowd. Approaching 6.5 gone here. Teams trading defensive battles, the chess match. Coming into this one was played out off the floor between the two general managers. And now it looks like the two defensive squads are going to keep up the battle. There's another shot from Crawley, and the holding call comes against Matisse. He's not going to like that one after his stick was tugged down the other end. And he lets Dale Sett know about it as Travis Bland was the man who got the tug. 6:34 gone here in the opening period as Matisse goes off for a hold. And the power play of the Rivermen set up. Way outside the box here to start. It goes up top, up for Bomberry. Bomberry pick in front. That shot goes off. Some piece of Kevin Sullivan. I was going to say the helmet, but he stays up. Here's Tober. Gives for Sullivan. Looks 5-hole, scores! A carbon copy of the goal Kevin Sullivan scored to win the Creators Cup 2 years ago. That time he had Andrew Potter streaking down the side. This time it's Andrew Tober. Tober draws the defender over. Gives back for Kevin Sullivan. And 5-hole once again. Opening the scoring, shorthanded, just outside of 7 minutes to go. Mike Atwood, he was looking to get back on the scoreboard with Torrey Van Every all alone, but the last bump, he tried to spring the ball free from the face-off cue. Just couldn't push it up. Bomberry taking the low post down. Up top, and again, Johnny Ray getting the stick involved there on Roger Weiss. A lot of big outside shots from this team. There's another one. It comes from Marty Hill as he picked up the rebound, let her rip. And after going almost 7 minutes without a goal, we've got two in 45 seconds here. Talked about all the shooters down there. Corey Bomberry, they gave for Roger Weiss. They both had chances here. And eventually it was Marty Hill picking that one up. Just steps into the sidearm shot around the screen. And we've got ourselves a tie ball game. Torrey Van Every back the other way. He backs into a double team now, going to turn into a quadruple team. As he backs his way out now, he says enough of this. He gives for Jordy Deredick down in the corner. Torrey Van Every, Matisse back on the floor. Fakes the give, now he does. Shane Adams was on the crease. He found Dan Keene, back for Matisse. He picks the corner. Was only a matter of time before Kyle Matisse got himself on the scoreboard here. They flipped the ball into the corner. The trainer will mark that one. So it was Shane Adams getting it over to Matisse. He found shooting space, and no holding call here as Matisse grabs it. Right off the face-off, he grabs it out of midair. Mike Atwood has another face-off win. Back for Johnny Ray to Matisse, and they'll get the big boys out again. Torrey Van Every, down low, McNulty through the middle, Matisse is on fire. No one picked up Kyle Matisse as he came down. Looked like Dylan Lord and Jeff McNulty passing on the near side, and that opened things up for Matisse. They've sure got the offensive plays working as Warren Hill goes get a drink here, but coming out to start this game, I think Matisse was Not surprised to be on the draw team, but wasn't sure what the draw play was. He had a conversation with Johnny Ray and a conversation with Jordan Deredick. They give the second assist to Shane Adams, so by our count, that's 2 early assists for Shane Adams as he joins the Saints here this week. They feed through, looking back for the cutter, Travis Bland. They can't find him. Rivermen find themselves down now after Kyle Matisse scores back-to-back goals right quick. In tight, Holden Weiss tries to get one through, and the left shoulder of Grant Crawley turns that one away. So Andrew Tober will get it up for Blue Hill. Hill up for Keene. Lord's going to create space, and it just tips off a stick. Otherwise, they had Favero alone on the crease. Chop there as Montour comes up center. Montour looking to go coast to coast now. He gets pushed to his wrong side. Into the corner, still gets away. Tom Montour still with it. Travis Hill turns that one aside. 4-on-1. 3-on-2 now as the door opens up. They work it back. Travis Hill, he can't hang on as it skips out of the stick. And the Rivermen will take over, nearing the halfway mark of this first period. 3-1 score in favor of the Saints. Crawley drops low again on Marty Hill. The lone goal scorer here for the Rivermen. A corkscrew pass there, and then dropped in front of the bench. The arm of Sutcliffe goes up. Matisse notices, and he'll hang on as Crawley comes to the bench. They'll put 6 on the floor here. 10 minutes away from the halfway mark. Torrey Van Every up top. Him and Matisse play catch. Down low now, back again. McNulty on the crease, spins and fires just wide off the back glass. And it'll be a check from behind, I believe, to Wayne Van Every to set up the power play here for the Saints. And here in Senior B Lacrosse, that is a 4-minute double minor. Comes right at the 10-minute mark. And they'll set up again. Matisse on the bench for a breather. So they'll go with McNulty down low. Favero up top. Torrey Van Every. Dan Keene with it now. All 5 touch it as Lord gets it back for Keene. Over his shoulder for Lord. The shot goes low. And Warren Hill grabs that one with the stick. Trying to go straight up the middle. Johnny Ray was all set up to lay out Jake Kranz. Not sure if Kranz waiting for that. A nice catch there by Keene. But Jake Kranz unable to catch that, which results in this going back the other way. Intercepted pass into the stick of Alex Martin. He springs a couple players. And here's Kranz trying again. This time it's the pad of Crawley. That turns out one aside. Rebound back for Jordan Deredick. Matisse picks it up at the bench as they go for Lord. Keene, Matisse again. Matisse directs traffic, puts Keene in the middle, and unable to get the quick stick on that was Dewey Porter. As the Rivermen try and break out again. They started at the bench, spinning away Tom Montour. Looked for the cutter, got the pass through, but filled in there by Torrey Van Every, and dropped was Holden Weiss. So Dan Keene gets it again. Jogs up over center, surveys the situation. Passes it far side, 2:20 to play. In the double minor here with Wayne Van Every in the box. Up for Torrey. He spins that shot. Midway looking 5-hole. Warren Hill, this one gets away from him. A huge rainbow shot. Just clears the clock, but bounces in front of Crawley up into the screening behind him. So with exactly 8 minutes to go, and exactly 2 minutes in the penalty, Saints will go to work again. Cutting through the middle, over the shoulder, Dewey Porter took the feed from Lord. And Hill stands his ground, makes the save. Off the far side, Stu Martin will pass off. And he'll give for Bomberry. Bomberry. Feeding away, Mike Miller. Dances around far side. Shot clock a non-factor here as there's still 90 seconds to go in the penalty kill. Mike Miller gets double teamed now in along the boards. Calvin Sullivan is there. Got the party started. And Sullivan doing a lot of the arguing. Leads me to believe the Rivermen have the ball here, and they do. As they pull it out to the far side. Bomberry up top. Again, penalty kill situation for the Rivermen. Matisse tries to climb the ladder, take that one away. It's still loose in front of Crawley. Number of sticks there, and then Sullivan's dropped. The Rivermen take it over center. The bench screaming for the over and back call. No one making it. And took Sutcliffe a long time. And now the Rivermen bench giving it to Sutcliffe. An early start for this to be going on is about 13 minutes into the first period. Matisse down low for Keene. He goes behind his back. That one dropped low. Roger Weiss. Weiss will go far side, and as he's in the change box, flips it off. And again, Saints bench wants to know what that one was. 15 seconds remains in the penalty kill. Holden Weiss, far side, gets spied by Keene and Van Every. Up top for Tom Montour now. Montour will just hang on. They can kill the rest of this. Wayne Van Every standing, door open now. Montour give and go, picked out of the air by Torrey Van Every. Torrey Van Every up for Travis Hill, and he heard the heads up as Stu Martin was right there on the doorstep. It's all the way up for Marty Hill. Marty Hill, Corey Bomberry. Bomberry for Wayne Van Every. He takes the shot. Crawley, nice job by Van Every to stay out of the crease. Turns and fires again. Hey, this time, Crawley drops low to make the save. Brought out by Torrey Van Every. He has the stick batted out of his hands. The loose ball picked up by Wayne Van Every. He retreats out of harm's way to let the Rivermen make their change just outside of 5 minutes to play in the opening period now. Travis Bland has that bounce away into the stick of Crawley. Comes up for Dewey Porter. He beats his man, then puts the brakes on as he does. It's a bit of a clutch and grab. The arm of Dale Sett goes up. And the Saints will go back to the power play. Dewey Porter straight through the middle. And it will be Brock Farmer on the holding call in front. On a nice stop. Stutter step there by Dewey Porter. Porter recognizing he's all by himself. Slams on the brakes, and you can see Farmer not ready for that. He draws the clutch, and he'll sit for 2 or less here. Saints will keep moving it around up top. There's a shot, bounces off a stick into the corner. Looked to be chased down by Jeff McNulty. And then Torrey Van Every trying to lay the body. Swing and a miss. Bounces back for Jake Kranz, though, with the player lying in the crease. Grant Crawley. Crawley argued the bench. Argued Holden Weiss was the initial guy. He was hauled down by Dan Keene. There was no call there, and as Holden Weiss with Weiss lying in the crease. Bounce back for Kranz. Kranz took the shot and scored. 4.5 to play. That comes 20 seconds into the penalty. And the Saints are going to spread the floor here. One by Atwood. Quick to Derenick into the cage. So earlier in the frame, we see a shorthanded goal by Kevin Sullivan, answered by Marty Hill on the power play seconds later. This time it's Jake Kranz shorthanded, and face-off win for Mike Atwood, one of the best in the business. Sends it immediately up the floor. We said the Saints were spreading it, and they do. Matisse draws the defender over. Deredick with the snipe. Make it 4-2, just outside of 4 minutes to play in the first. And the Saints are going to throw it away. There's a wild shot from Wayne Van Every with the cavalry on the way in of Andrew Tober. Straight down the middle. Here's a shot. Crawley drops down. I believe Rod Squire was looking 5-hole there. And that hits the pad of Crawley. Tober slowing it down now for Dewey Porter. Dylan Lord will take the far side. Bit of a chop there. Looked like it may have been high on Shane Adams. He's going to work back to the front of the net anyways. Wheeling around, Favero spins and shoots. Just as Blue Hill was crossing through, it may have caught Hill on the way. Here's Dewey Porter with the shot clock winding down. He elected to go to Shane Adams, and a couple extra whacks for good effort between Murray Porter and Dewey Porter. And if the Saints were spreading the floor, they'll clog up the middle. Will the Rivermen here? Dumping back, they go for Roger Weiss. He goes to the top, back for Delby Palace, feeding the cutter, and through the crease on Holden Weiss. 3 minutes to play now. And 6 black jerseys on the floor, not counting the officials. The Armavdale set goes up, and the Rivermen will sit one more time. Here's Matisse. A hard pass into the corner. McNulty can't hang on. Goes back for Favero. But Matisse sold that shot, and he does get the shot. So went back around for Keene. On to Matisse. He was trying to find the 5-hole on Warren Hill. Can't do it, but that'll stop the clock with 2:35 to play. And for the majority of the remainder of this frame, it'll be another power play to the Saints here. Corey Bomberry will serve as the Saints set up the horn. McNulty, top man is Matisse. McNulty walks in though. Looking for it was Torrey Van Every. But it was Jeff McNulty able to find it out of the crowd. And he walks in to make it 5-2 here in the first. And getting the gear on is Angus Goodleaf as Warren Hill. Is he coming for a water break, or is he coming for an extended break here? It's like the helmet going on for Angus Goodleaf here. Grant Crawley shakes off the water break. And Angus Goodleaf is going to come into this game. So Warren Hill, after 4 incredibly outstanding years with the Six Nations Arrows in Junior A, steps up here and gets rifled for 5 goals. Has been a game that's been played mostly special teams. But Angus Goodleaf between the pipes, and immediately the Saints bear down on him after another face-off win by Mike Atwood. Keene with his second assist of the game. Matisse with his 3rd point. An assist to go along with 2 goals. He tries that quick pass again with Dewey Porter. And as Porter jumped for the shot, landed in the crease. And when he went to play it, they call him for running through the crease. Inside the 2-minute warning here. As we're 5-on-5 down on the floor. Up top is Wayne Van Every. Looks for a shot, takes it, a sidearm one. A lot of English on that ball as it continues to bounce around. Finally finds the stick of Delby Powless. He's only able to bat it into the corner where Travis Hill will pick up. Favero. Up top for Keene. Dan Keene looking for Torrey Van Every. He's quick over for Dylan Lord. McNulty circles the net to get on his correct side. Shot clock at 5 seconds now. Lord rips one in, and unable to pick that up was McNulty. Stepped in the crease as we hit 60 seconds. Good leaf. Trying to spring Brock Boyle, it looked like. Just out of his reach, and Wayne Van Every. Mike Atwood rolls it through the change box. Shane Adams takes his spot, picks up. Dewey Porter into the corner for McNulty. Jeff McNulty up top for Dan Keene. They caught a good leaf going down. And as Keene gets tied up, he can't break out, and that lets Brock Farmer walk in all alone. Grant Crawley there to make the save. Rebound gets away, though. Isaiah Kicknosway picks up, and whole lot of action right over by the Rivermen bench. Looked like they got 7 guys down on the floor, and again the bench screaming for a call. There's a quick shot by Roger Weiss. Johnny Ray immediately on him. There's the clock winding down. 5 seconds on the doorstep. It stops at 2.4. And it's Wayne Van Every. St. Catharines Saints pretty early out of the dressing room. Well, it took the Rivermen quite a while to get out here. A reminder, this is the battle for first place in the Senior B standings. The St. Catharines Saints do have 2 games in hand. Coming to you from the Jack Gatecliff Arena in St. Catharines. While they get set up for the face-off, also in action tonight, the Brooklyn Merchants and the Ennismore James Gang. The Merchants currently sit 6 points behind these 2 clubs. So a game that Brooklyn should win. They'll close to within 4 points of somebody. Here's Dewey Porter far side. McNulty gets filled in there as they were looking for the feed. Jake Kranz and Dewey Porter. It's Kranz diving for it. Porter goes over the top. Back down for Brock Boyle. Boyle sending it into the corner for Holden Weiss. He hangs on, a 5-3 score after the first period due to a late Rivermen goal. Also backed by 2 markers and a 4-point first period by Kyle Matisse in his first game for the St. Catharines Saints. Grant Crawley not tested on that opening sequence as the Saints work away from their net, going right to left here in the second frame. So they go for Torrey Van Every. They bear down on Angus Goodleaf, who remains in the net to our left, as he's got his first save out of the way. Up the boards, they go for Corey Bomberry. Bomberry for Wayne Van Every now. Bomberry and Van Every play catch up top. He looks off the man down low. And now looking for Van Every. It's Tober trying to pick up. He does, and he's going to turn it into a 2-on-1 with Matisse. Matisse gets to his correct side. A nice hustle back by Van Every, though. Wayne Van Every takes Tober out of the play for the loose ball. Allows it to be picked up on the far side by Danny Weiss. Stops and spins, gets it back for Marty Hill. On the half boards for Mike Miller now. Off the bench, Corey Bomberry. Bomberry taken out there by Travis Hill, who's quickly picked away. And we've got a jousting match in front. Johnny Ray having words with Travis Bland as they both head off. And a parting shot there from Holden Weiss. As the conversations starting to get a little more animated down there on the floor. Dan Keene wheeling around the top. He likes that off-balance jump shot. Can't get it away there. As going with him was Mike Miller. Up the middle, though. Racing in, ripping the shot, Tom Montour. Coming down the near side. Stolen by Mike Atwood. He fakes the pass. It falls at the back of the stick, actually, in front of the bench. And DJ Nedelko, first time we called his name, he gets filled in after he passes up in front of the bench. And the shot clock works its way to 15 as they complete the change. Somebody's stick gets ripped out of his hands. It's Dewey Porter. Matisse goes to him for the pass. And he obviously can't accept. Keane is filled in there as Matisse trying to find him. And Matisse looking to pass to the far side for Favero. That didn't get through. Keane comes to the bench trying to find his spot. And looks like he's okay after that hit. Stepping up was Mike Miller. Here's Wayne Van Every in front. Got a step on Tober. And that one off the goaltender up in the screening, and Crawley with another save out of the way. Here's Weiss. Weiss to the far side. Here's a shot, bounces wide up into the stands and heads up in the standing room. That one gets all the way to the concourse. Tober up for Porter, and now the Rivermen continue to give it to Sutcliffe. There's Porter again, stepping in, though the shot handled there by Goodleaf. Works into along the half boards. And another collision there. It was Blue Hill losing that battle to Brock Farmer. Flips off for Holden Weiss, who gets it up top. Mike Miller rolls it back for Van Every. There's a shot, and the bench just asked the officials to watch the holds. And now Mike Atwood's going to be called for one as he gets the stick up high and Van Every falls. Mike Atwood headed off here for the hold. It appears as extra attacker with Goodleaf on the bench. Here's Bomberry trying to feed it through, and it goes up into the screening. And they'll actually call Mike Atwood on the high stick. Not the hold, but it was the bench screaming at Sutcliffe and set, and Atwood doesn't like that call, but he'll sit for two. 4:37 gone here in the middle period. Roger Weiss adjusts the stick after passing that away. They'll go to the far side of the horn and make sure all five touch it. Back up for Roger Weiss, the shot and the goal. Everybody on that far side getting a touch there. That'll be the third assist of the game for Bomberry. And I believe Marty Hill. Second power play goal of the game for the Rivermen. Should make it 5-4 now. And a stare down there between Mike Atwood and somebody, and he gives a shot as he goes by. Up top, Deredick. Into the corner, spinning away Shane Adams. Looked to take it himself, spun away from the check. What a move there to elude Tom Montour. Montour's going to take it here. He's got running room. Goes down the far side, almost up the middle. Now he puts the brakes on as the slide comes over. Nice job by Lloyd Kreisler to take his running room away. Those two teammates in winter ball as Van Every gets it up over top. A lot of winter teammates playing against each other here in this game as filled in there. Deredick takes his man to the ground, and in behind that play, Crawley slides over to make the save. And the shot clock expires, but not sure how that missed the goaltender. Looked like Crawley came by to make the save. Sutcliffe again says no. Lord's going to keep here, fakes to Porter. No, sorry, Porter takes it up top. Passing off for Blue Hill. Hill into the corner for Lord. Dylan Lord with a man all over him. Like that stick may have come high as he gets down. Now he's going to piggyback the Rivermen player. And Sutcliffe's going to call Murray Porter on the back of Lord as he went to the carpet. Concrete rather, and Lord exchanging chops in front with Rod Squire. Lord's got the ball now. You can see the fire in Squire's eyes beneath that grill. He wants revenge. Here's Lord still trying to stir it up. He turns, there's a shot, and then hauled down. Still no referee's call coming. And Rod Squire is going to break concentration now. Dewey Porter goes for the chop. Lord gets it back, and there was a reset on the play. The Saints are calling for another reset. Rivermen want to know why it was reset in the first place. Shot does come in. There ends the argument as it was Matisse coming in. Matisse on the chop there. Gives up on the loose ball as Farmer had that taken away. Alex Martin gets it up the far side. Corey Bomberry. That was a good long possession in on Angus Goodleaf for the Saints. Some tired defenders breathing hard over on that bench. Stu Montour has a chat with them. Here comes Andy Tober blocking out Wayne Van Every, and the shot clock's going to go against the Rivermen here. Picked up by Dustin Gatt. Gatt trying to back away from Van Every. A couple sidestep moves. Gets him a passing lane up for Tober. Running back to the ball is Matisse. Matisse for Shane Adams. He's got Fowler in front. Likes to take it himself, and he's filled in for his efforts. Brock Boyle sending him to the floor. Far side, Isaiah Kicknosway. Again in front of his own bench. As the change comes, goes up for Roger Weiss now. Weiss works around a pick. The high pass picked off by Blue Hill. He gets dropped into the board. Still hangs on, though. Gets away from Holden Weiss. Blue Hill looking for a pass off the bench. Here comes Dylan Lord. Roger Weiss lays the lumber on him. Matisse comes over to help out. Lord able to put the pass away to McNulty. Here's Matisse, rips it as Roger Weiss falls in front. Hat-trick for Matisse as Lord now coming in to have words with Sutcliffe. McNulty as well. I think McNulty mostly making sure he's going to get his assist on this. And Goodleaf took a quick water break. So we'll get set for the face-off here. A lot of conversation happening over on that line, though. It's going to be Mike Atwood, Corey Bomberry. Atwood picked it up and then chopped in the kitty pads. They give it to Favero and Blue Hill on the assists, but I think it was McNulty in the corner as Johnny Ray chases Van Every. Corey Bomberry backs away. That hits a leg in front, and Van Every is not going to corral it in time to get a shot away before the 30-second clock. Here's Crawley up for Mike Atwood. They were calling Deredick off the floor, but he was on the far side. And he stayed on. They sent the completed line change out. And that'll be too many against the Saints. Roger Weiss, near side, bounces off of, I believe that's DJ Nedelko. And now he sends another Saints player to the turf, Roger Weiss. This is all muscle as Kevin Sullivan goes down as well. Well, Weiss with a 4-point night now. Crushes DJ Nedelko first. Then works around in a couple more moves before lowering the boom on Kevin Sullivan. That's how you create shooting space. And that's what you do with it at the end. Mike Miller, Delby Palace, credited with the assist at the 10:37 mark, and just like that, it's a one-goal game. Mike Atwood looking for the face-off. He gets a cross-check in the chops. Takes a couple swings afterwards. And the officials called that incidental contact. My goodness. Foul or far side. Lord stirring it up in again. There's Matisse on the shot. Shane Adams looked like he was going to steal it away. And there's Lord. He took another shot in behind the play. Things are getting chippy and dirty away from the ball. And Sutcliffe is getting an earful. Here's Matisse. Looked like he was worried about the wrong man. That allowed Holden Weiss to get through. Matisse, first man off the bench. He finds Blue Hill. Jeff McNulty's there, and there's a couple Saints a long way from home. So they got to hold up and waste half the clock on this change. Torrey Van Every up top. They've got Jeff McNulty. They'll go to him with under 10 to go. Blue Hill in front. Delby Palace backs away after a nice catch. I think that was, Dewey Porter. I think that was intended for Van Every. But Porter intercepts. There are a couple wheels. And the interception, backing away, creating space. And you can see just a quick bouncer in front of Angus Goodleaf. We're inside the halfway mark of this game, and the Saints are back to a 2-goal lead. Mike Atwood and Corey Bomberry back to the face-off circle, and Atwood gets back into the face of Marty Hill after that high stick. Keane with his third assist, and Blue Hill, they give him one as well. Up for Favero. Dylan Lord again. It's been worked over on that low crease side. Comes back for Shane Adams. His shot. Goodleaf goes down to meet that. And the Rivermen will change up. Over to the boards. Travis Bland. Worked down into the corner for Van Every. He wheels around. There's a shot, Crawley the save. Van Every beating two defenders on that same play. Trying to release Lloyd Chrysler. Heads up, running under that, Tom Montour. Named Transition Player of the Year in winter ball, Tom Montour. Gets it up for Wayne Van Every, one of the offensive superstars. For Roger Weiss, his shot off the backboards, and Deredick runs in to take it away from his keeper. Deredick up for Dustin Gatt now. Gatt finding Matisse on the boards. Jake Krantz will keep Matisse there, at least for the meantime. McNulty for Keene. Pick from Matisse. Feeding through. And this is Dewey Porter down low. I don't know how that pass got through. Dewey Porter's feeling it right now as he's got two. Puts 7:46 on the clock, 8-5, and you can see on that set, a lot of attention being paid to Kyle Matisse as I thought the shot was going there. He sets the pick for Keene. And how did that pass get through? Torrey Van Every was in the vicinity, but it's Dewey Porter again. There it is, Kyle Matisse, a 5-point night, 4 assists for Dan Keene, as Matisse can't handle that pass. Dylan Lord's gonna chase his man. They don't call that a moving pick, as Brock Farmer lays into Dylan Lord. In behind the play, Dudley Palace. Couple picks in front, runs out of room, walks into the corner, tries to pass away though, looking for Marty Hill. Hill, they work it to the crease, in for Holden Weiss. So And as he falls, Crawley makes the save. Picked up by Kevin Sullivan, trying to feed out for Travis Hill. Stolen back by Weiss, who was just in the right spot as the ball arrived. Tipped away by Travis Hill into the stick of Crawley. And Wayne Van Every remains up to forecheck. Kevin Sullivan now. Dan Keene. Keene looked like he had the corner. He desperately wants to try that one-footed skip shot. And he does so well in the field game. Montour steals it from over top of the head of Keene. Stops, winds, fires off the throat guard of Crawley. And McNulty, just before stepping back in the crease, spins that back up center. Roger Weiss drops it on the floor, on the change. Up here for Van Every. Van Every, Matisse gets picked out of the way. There's the shot off a body in front. May have hit off Matisse, who rolled in the net. Here's Montour. Worked up for Van Every. Van Every in the corner, Roger Weiss. Gets checked there by Blue Hill. Two more of those winner teammates. Weiss up for Mike Miller. Far side, rifling a shot, Travis Bland. And if that second assist goes to Roger Weiss, that's a 5-point night for him as well. And indeed it is, as he did a lot of work down low, especially in the corner, working the ball out. Came back for the shot, and the recipient is Travis Bland with a whole ton of room. Bomberry in front of his own bench, tried to bounce it over for Delby Palace. He can't hang on. Now he falls as he tries to get away from Dustin Gatt. Just outside of 5 minutes to play here as Mike Atwood sends it up the boards for Dylan Lord. He promptly deposits it in the stick of Brock Boyle, who shovels it back for Jake Kranz. And the Rivermen will put the brakes on here. Delby Palace. Still has it. Up now for Marty Hill. Wayne Van Every walks out of the corner. Work to the far side, back up top. Here's Marty Hill again. And covering up, and now pushing it forward was Wayne Van Every. Van Every and Dylan Lord still tied up, and now they release. It's up the floor for Kevin Sullivan. Sullivan quickly for Dan Keene. Over far side, Shane Adams now. Adams, Matisse in the corner for Lord. 5 on the shot clock as Lord continues to take chops. Dewey Porter throws a pick to create space, and Shane Adams didn't drop that in time. Enough time for Murray Porter's liking. Gives him a couple shoves, and we enter the final 4 minutes of the second frame. These two teams will face one another in Six Nations on July the 11th. And the very next night, July the 12th, the Brooklyn Merchants will host the Rivermen. Could be looking at a battle for first or second. Van Every comes flying in and flattens Lloyd Chrysler. Chrysler gets up, and it looks like Van Every, who got the worst of that one, as he's holding his side. What a ride Lloyd Chrysler was sent on. Huge outside rip there from Torrey Van Every. Deredick chases down the rebound. Fired off the glass by Blue Hill. Trying to climb the ladder now. Deredick gets away from everybody. Rod Squire corrals it. The face-off dot rolled to the far side. Final 3 minutes for Corey Bomberry. Bomberry flips it back to the bench. There you go, hidden ball again with Delby Palace. Back for Bomberry. Bomberry through a crowd. His shot Stick ends up in the back of Dustin Gadd. Ball ends up on Crawley. They reset the shot clock. Roger Weiss give and go with Marty Hill. And the paddle of Crawley comes out to take that away from Bomberry. Bomberry up over top of Travis Hill and up into the crowd here. They bear down on Crawley. They had an open side, but Marty Hill unable to pick up as Kevin Sullivan was there. Here's DJ Nedelko now on Dan Keene, and he almost gets flattened again on the suicide pass. He waits for Tom Montour to get flat-footed, which is very rare. That was his opportunity to take that shot, but a little short. Took a bit too long on the release to Dan Keene, and they end up turning the ball over. Here's Brock Farmer. Farmer, he's got a man in front, rolls away from Van Every. Deredick runs through the crease. Thought he was going to pick up, but it was Van Every. Had a man up top, and again a delayed change. Saints bench thinks they ran into trouble there. Bland for Van Every, skips it off the floor, and it's in the legs of Crawley somewhere, but on the correct side of the net if you're a Saints fan. Final 90 seconds of the period, 8-6 score in favor of the home side. They work it over for Kyle Matisse. The bucket of Dan Keene continues to bobble around there. That was about 2 or 3 times he had to shake it down. Now he's going to head off as here's Favero. With 5 on the shot clock, Favero lets one rip. And already they've got Travis Hill up the floor. That's why Dan Keene went off. Ball's outside the blue line. Grant Crawley calling where it is, rather. As they find it back for Mike Miller. Miller, a huge pick there from Roger Weiss, and wide shot as Miller gets it back again. So tried to pass it into the corner. It's picked off. And coming out with speed, Dustin Gadd over center in front of his own bench. Huge pick laid out there by Travis Hill. He adjusts the gear, heads to the bench, as does Gadd. Dewey Porter, Blue Hill. Now Shane Adams and Kyle Matisse join them. Dylan Lord's the ball carrier at the bottom of the face-off circle. Over far side, there's a shot from Adams. Goodleaf makes the save. And with 7.3 on the clock, the Rivermen bench call their timeout. As we said, the standings here about to conclude the first of back-to-back games this weekend for the St. Catharines Saints. They will travel to Owen Sound tomorrow. And then next weekend, we'll host the Brooklyn Merchants before going to Oakville on July the 5th. That's a 7 p.m. start. 8 p.m. here versus Brooklyn on the 3rd. 8 p.m. here versus Wallaceburg on July 10th. And then, of course, out in Six Nations to end the season. As here's Jake Kranz. Grant Crawley makes the save as he returns to his original position in the net to our left. 8-6 score in favor of the Saints to start this one. And Angus Goodleaf, who entered the game with 2:22 remaining in the first period, stays in the net to the right. Lord Keene, jumping shot there from Shane Adams. That one's going to bound all the way outside the blue line as Dan Keene chases down Jake Kranz. Kranz hangs on, gets for Roger Weiss. Weiss trying to find Bland. They let it roll into the corner. Marty Hill. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 black jerseys is too many. They're called for that, and it's just a turnover here in the summer game. Well, Travis Hill will give for Fowler. Fowler's up top for Van Every. Down low, McNulty. And Kyle Matisse. Favero, Blue Hill in the corner again. McNulty in the crease. The foot did touch down. Couple feet touched down before that went in the back for Torrey Van Every. It's GM night in the National Hockey League as the NHL draft is underway in Miami, Florida. Mike Atwood dropped his man as Crawley was trying to find that ball. Wayne Van Every picks it out of the stick of Crawley as Dale Sett awarded possession. Van Every walks out, had room to shoot. Crawley goes to his right, though, as they found Delby Powlis. Didn't get a lot on it, did Powlis, and that allows Crawley to make the save. Here's Dewey Porter. Feeding it back for Keane off the bench. He's on his wrong side, so we'll give to Dylan Lord, who also needs to cross gut floor. Shane Adams over everybody. Back for Lord, has shooting room. It goes off the stick of the defender in front. Here's Keane. It's driven into the board just as he catches it. 4 on the shot clock. Falling's the defender. Here's Keane letting it rip, and it stops dead in between the legs of Goodleaf. Goodleaf to the front door. That's touched by somebody on the bench. Dale Sutt and John Sutcliffe are going to discuss this one as the man on the floor. Looked like he went high to try and retrieve that. Didn't think there needed to be much of a conversation there, but to their credit, the referees try and make the right call. Here's Porter, looks away from Lord as he was trying to find his man. Lord's got to give chase now as Brock Boyle picks up. Boyle spinning away, takes a chop. Now he's going to underhand it over to Marty Hill. And the trash talk is picked up as Lord. It's in front of the Rivermen bench. He hears more of that than anybody else, and that is a moving pick in any league. As Holden Weiss has a word with Lord, and Lord goes back. Another shove from Holden Weiss. And Lord's going to hear it now as he goes over in front of the bench. Marty Hill works over Dylan Lord. Dylan Lord's grabbing the face mask, and now he's going to head off. Here's Jeff McNulty with the ball, though. Taking the spot of Lord is Dewey Porter. Porter up for Blue Hill. Off the backboards. Matisse picks it out of midair. Quick check of the shot clock. Saw it was at 6. Let her fly, and Blue Hill on the rebound. One step around Isaiah Kiknoswe. They go behind the net there. Dewey Porter. Porter into the corner. Trying to be kept there. They go over for Blue Hill. Dan Keane now behind the net. Shot clock back down to 10 as Keane goes over the top. Puts the brakes on again. Blue Hill from his wrong side. Gets it. Finds the stick of Goodleaf. Into the corner. Picked there by Mike Miller. Lord has looked off the trainer, so whatever that was, he's taking his spot back in line. Here's a shot that Crawley saves. The rebound works its way into the corner. Down the middle, here's Roger Weiss, and matching him almost pound for pound, Mike Atwood, as that is a freight train collision right there. Jordan Deredick tried to spin away from Montour, but the chop on the stick jars the ball free. It's going to be brought out by Bland. Travis Bland. Up top, him and Marty Hill trade the ball. Back for Corey Bomberry now. Bomberry taken into the boards, but back up top. Room to shoot. Johnny Ray had some words from Montour, and I think Johnny Ray's going to go here. Marty Hill's second of the game. Hill definitely going. Van Every opening the door as well. We may play some 4-on-4 here. But on the goal. Ball worked around quite nicely before it ends up on the stick of Marty Hill. He gets his second, streaking down through the middle and bouncing the shot through. Atwood, a rare face-off loss here. That's it back and exchanges the stick quickly. The arm of Dale Sett was down. It was Mike Atwood. Got the stick tossed to him from the bench. And it wasn't until a player came off the bench onto the floor to let him know that the arm of Sett went up. Mike Atwood's going to have a word with Dale Sett as he makes his way to have a seat. It'll be illegal equipment to call. This comes 18 seconds into the double minor, so the often practiced 4-on-3 play. Dale Set comes over, and thought I heard Brad Favero say 2 and 10. And Dale Set says that's the rule. I think they're waiting for someone to go and serve the 2 minutes, and it looks like it will be Brad Favero. But it wasn't until the Rivermen player came over and said he threw the stick that the arm went up. But at any rate, we do go 4-on-3. Mike Atwood is in the box, as is Johnny Ray, another member of the draw team. Trying to find the corner. They go off the top of the glass. Here comes Kevin Sullivan, though, running it down. He's being spied by Roger Weiss. So Sullivan on the drag team coming out to play on it. Angus Goodleaf. And they had Matisse open. This is the right man to have, I would think. The big body and probably some of the best stick skills on that bench. Kyle Matisse, they keep him inside the blue line. And Matisse at the white line, and now as he touches up, he does go over and back. Then he bumps it in behind him, and Matisse exchanging words with the bench and Tom Montour as he's over there, and all that does is lets the defenders get back into the play. Bomberry with the ball on the crease, though. Back for Bomberry. They plugged up that shooting lane quickly, did Matisse and Travis Hill. The high man is Matisse. That one goes off the leg of Hill, and he doesn't even flinch. 15 on the clock as Bomberry gets it back again. Bomberry says, if you're going to block it, I'm going to put everything I got into this one. Now Matisse calls for the change. Deredick. Big hit there, looking for Roger Weiss. Thought he was going to touch the ball. And a shot clock violation caused by the trio of Andrew Tober, Travis Hill, and Kyle Matisse on the 4-on-3 power play. 20 seconds remains in the double minors. Offsetting minors, I should say. 30 seconds remain in the penalty to Mike Atwood. Keene somehow gets away from the double team with a man on his back. Still has the ball here, getting close to the boards though. Keene still with it. And they call that ball down as they still continue to bang. And the Saints will get the ball back. Put it in the stick of Torrey Van Every now, and immediately it's drawn away by Tom Montour. Montour loses Van Every. They work it over for Keene. Double minors are out of the box, waiting for Brad Favero to return, and they've killed the whole thing as Keene on the floor. Keene, here's Favero. Favero back for Keene again. Cutting to the net was Porter. Couldn't find him. They go for Lord, though. He hits the pipe. This one's going to go the length of the floor. 13 minutes to play in the third period. It's a one-goal game, 8-7 for the Saints. Back to 5-on-5 in front. There's a chop, and Lord acted like he took it off the leg. Dale Set says no. This bounces off a couple sticks before Shane Adams gets position on Brock Farmer. It is Farmer who's going to get away. He was the first touch anyways. And it looks like Dylan Lord back to his old tricks. He's going for a bit of a walk as Jake Kranz down the tunnel. Sidearm shot there from Montour. And Grant Crowley's got that one covered up. Blue Hill. Matisse joins him. Comes back for Hill. In front, McNulty's got away from coverage. Went on his wrong side, though. And we'll see who's going here. There was a mix-up between Matisse and Murray Porter. And Dale Setz picked the Riverman out of the pile. Lord and Montour are having a half-floor exchange of words, and Montour is going to keep it up. And it is Murray Porter, one of their top defenders, headed to the box here after killing off a minor penalty 4-on-3. The Saints now get their own power play. Go to Matisse, over the shoulder. Keene lets it rip. Save made by Goodleaf up into the screen, and Lord has it. Kranz with a couple bumps in front. Torrey Van Every's there. They go up for Matisse. On his wrong side, so he goes for McNulty. There's Keene again, letting it rip. It's just out of the reach of McNulty. Crawley will come out to help out. Delset's got the count down on the floor. As the shot clock is wrong, Matisse up for McNulty. Looks 5-hole, and that one looked like it may have squeaked through, but caught up in the shin pad of Goodleaf. Sidesteps his way up, passes to the front door. That's where Marty Hill is. Goes front door again, this time for Wayne Van Every. Van Every, both Deredick and Johnny Ray took the cutter, and that left a shot open for Van Every, but he didn't take it. 50 seconds now as the shot clock's off for the Rivermen. Trying to kill the remainder of this penalty. Holden Weiss in on the crease, didn't have it, so falling through is Matisse. Almost tripped up his man. So he was down. Ball carrier is Dylan Lord. Everybody on that bench will take whatever chance they can to run into him hard. Lord gets away from Alex Martin as he was ready to line him up. Up for Matisse. Matisse takes the shot. That's off a stick in front. Took a funny hop in front of Goodleaf. Lord in behind. Here's Matisse, rips it 5-hole. There was only about 1 or 2 seconds on the shot clock. And Dylan Lord was the guy who passed it from down in the corner. 14 seconds remain in the power play. And it'll be Kyle Matisse with his 4th goal of the game. Welcome to the St. Catharines Saints. Taking the face-off with Atwood in the box is Dewey Porter, wins it. Deredick is dropped in behind Stu Martin, and has he gotten up? Barely, and made his way to the bench has Jordy Deredick. And that fired up the Saints bench. Sutcliffe right in front of that play. Under 10 to go here. The lead's extended to 2 now. Deredick took a breath, and now he joins back in line. He was some kind of lit up right on that face-off. They're letting all kinds of face-off stuff go. Sliding through and then filled in. Not moving. Travis Bland, he's down. He looks hurt on the floor. Travis Bland cutting through. I think it was Blue Hill that came through and laid into him. Bland is going to head off here. Lost the stick. And the shot clock goes, but they're going to call without the stick. Dustin Gatt doesn't like the call. Van Every will go off for a change. Taking a seat in front of the trainer was Travis Bland. Hasn't asked for attention, hasn't gone for a walk yet. Bomberry steps in for a shot. Fakes it, goes in. Roger Weiss gets dumped in front. And then on the loose ball, DJ Nedelko hits the deck. Body's starting to fly here. Referees letting them go. For the most part, no one going to the box. Neither bench likes it. Here's McNulty. And to their credit, this is a battle for first place in Senior B. You don't want the officials to decide it. Jake Kranz steals it. 2 on nobody. As Brock Boyle will get the first opportunity, there will be no second for Montour. As Boyle puts it in. And Travis Hill arguing that draw play with Sutcliffe. Quite heated now, and he doesn't like the explanation. These draws have been getting more and more vicious as this game has gone on, and boy, oh boy, this will be an interesting one here. 8:36 to play. But the breakdown in coverage sends a 2 on nobody Brock Boyle and Tom Montour bearing down on Grant Crawley to make it 9-8. Jake Kranz, and then Travis Hill gets blasted into the cage. And knowing immediately, Danny Weiss heads off here for interference. Travis Hill was the one arguing that call, and you could kind of see this coming. You knew someone was going to step over the line eventually. A little more let go, a little more, and that one they're not going to let go. Make it a 2-minute interference call on a 9-8 score with 8:20 to play. Here's Favero up for Matisse. Keene, Lord, everyone's touched it now. Favero again, Matisse threads the needle, back for Favero, the shot. Looking 5-hole, Goodleaf went down. And Goodleaf has stopped that 5-hole since coming in relief of Warren Hill. Remember, it was a 5-2 score when Hill got the hook. Out of the corner, Wayne Van Every, Corey Bomberry. With his extra hand, he's pushing guys left, right, and center here, getting away with all of it. Another tie up in front. Dylan Lord takes his man out. Wayne Van Every, now they chop away at the stick. Van Every still on the floor. The ball is loose in the corner. The only man that sees it, Johnny Ray. And he ducks away from the check of Mike Miller. Ray will leave for Dan Keene, and now Dale Sett hears it from the Rivermen bench. Lord, Matisse, Keene. Keene and McNulty on this side. McNulty through the middle. Matisse trying to find him just high. Here's Dewey Porter. Stepped in like he was shooting. Matisse picks it out of midair. His shot goes wide. Sutcliffe had to duck out of the way, and that one skips off a couple seats before ending up in the bench, and Dewey Porter takes it with him. Jogging up over center, Tom Montour. Now gets it into the corner. Marty Hill. Double team with him, pushes him out over top, and that'll be over and back as Marty Hill wasn't sure where he was. Calvin Sullivan and Jordy Deredick doing the hard work. Torrey Van Every has it near side. Bit of a hidden ball trick there with Blue Hill. Now they pass up for Matisse. Quick check of the clock. Sees there's 5 seconds in the power play. Is for Blue Hill. Matisse. Shane Adams now. Adams cutting through. Tips off the defender's stick. And Matisse, head down, ran up to catch up with Danny Weiss. It's in the corner for Keene, though. Keene, the shot! That's off the back of the mesh. Crowd saw that. And Murray Porter straight out of the penalty box got the gloves up in the chops of Adams. It looked like he turned around to give him a shot. And Sutcliffe picked both of them for a slash. 6:07 to go. We'll go back 4-on-4. And I think this is a call just to try and put a cap on things and regain control. As we said, that interference penalty, they were letting a little bit go, a little bit more, a little bit more. And this gives a lot of these skilled guys room to work. Comes over for Delby Palace, who takes a shot. Crawley makes the save, corrals the rebound. Now he's going to bounce up for Delby Palace. Point in the game where you start looking in behind the play. As Keene has it for Favero now. 5.5 in regulation. Lord on the far side. Kranz gets picked out of the way by Keene. Lord loses the ball. Keene throws the pick into Jake Kranz as he tried to come up. Kranz down the middle and getting the stick on that, Lloyd Chrysler. There's a shot game. Kranz. Again, it's DJ Nedelko getting thrown out of the way. And the Rivermen end up with the ball. I thought the Saints were getting it. Here's Blando through the middle, and the shot and the goal. It's going to be Holden Weiss coming through now. believe Travis Bland and maybe Marty Hill, the recipients there. 54 seconds in the double minors. And just outside of 5 minutes. .501 to be exact. We've got a tie game. Bomberry directing traffic as he crouches in here. Travis Hill at the dot. It's one back to the line, right where Bomberry said he was going to place it. Rod Squire almost took the ball with him to the bench. 40 seconds now. Cutting in. They call the reset and the goal as Roger Weiss gets his 6th point of the game. Rivermen have taken the lead here. Their first lead since opening the scoring early on. It was 1-0. The Saints stretched it to 5-2. And since then, Corey Bomberry now has 4 assists, a 6-point game for Roger Weiss. 4:40 to go and a 10-9 score for the Rivermen. Remember all this coming with Mike Atwood, probably the best face-off man in Senior B. Some may even say Senior A. Quick movement there by the Rivermen. Quick up for Hill on Matisse. And good leaf, Stone Matisse on the breakaway. Mike Atwood for tossing that stick. 2 minutes and a 10-minute misconduct. He should come out with about 2 minutes left in this game, assuming there's a dead ball at that point. Hill gets that ripped away by Roger Weiss. Weiss over for Marty Hill. The double minors are over. There's the shot and the save by Crawley. And Dustin Gatt, fresh off his 2-minute break, drops Marty Hill to the floor. Delby Paulus in front. Holden Weiss takes the shot and it goes up into the screen. Doesn't touch anything on the way. 3.5 to play. Closing in on 3.5 rather as McNulty has it. Ping-ponging in front was Torrey Van Every. So I think all 4 defenders give him a ride. Here's McNulty in the corner. It was Keene on the far side rather, as him and Matisse exchanged the ball, and with that shot, 3:33 on the clock, the door opens and Mike Atwood comes over to the bench looking for the face-off cue. Keene now with a 5-point night. He came to the bench to grab that one legally this time, and him and Bomberry will get back to the dot. Knotted at 10s. All 3s on the clock. And Mike Atwood grabs his own defensive stick this time. They called him for running through the circle before the ball went out. They called Mike Atwood. That's how the Rivermen get the ball. First save. Oh, Crawley with his back turned to the play. It goes off the pants. Got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good, I guess. Rebound down for the Rivermen. Picked up all the way up from on tour now. 5 on the floor and 2 standing in the change box waiting for the play to happen. Inside, 3 minutes to go. Walking out of the corner. The shot and the goal. Sneaks through the post. Marty Hill. Early on, it looked like all Saints, but boy, have we got a game now. Getting it back, the 11th goal. We've seen 21 of them tonight. Atwood with the face-off cue. Up for Matisse. He's going to bounce it for Shane Adams. Adams' shooting lane gets taken away. Looks up, has Matisse in front, wasn't ready for it, had to tiptoe the crease. And it ends up in the stick of Stu Martin. Stu Martin That was close. They called the man heading off not to touch it. As here's Vice and Wayne Van Every. They've got Marty Hill. Van Every spinning away. He's going to go up top now. Over here, Delby Powless through the legs. Wayne Van Every, a bit of a quiet game until now. Put it in his stick, and we decides to come alive. Any team he's on, it's game over. Not quite there yet, as we're just outside of 2 minutes. But 12-10 now is the lead, and I think everyone expecting Vice to come out the corner with this and take the shot. Pardon me, Van Every, after Vice picks up the second assist. But it's going to be Delby Powless on the shot, his first goal of the game. An insurance marker, stretching the lead to 12-10 inside the 2-minute warning now. Here's Matisse trying to catch it on the run. Can't do that as it's away. Deredick can't hang on. Up for Fowler. Dan Keene now. Had room to shoot. Stick gets down for Stu Martin. They need one with 2 on the clock. There it is. Resets it off the goaltender. And they called reset, so it's in the corner for Matisse. Del set, making sure the Rivermen were aware. They thought they were getting the ball as they sent a couple extra guys out. McNulty up for Keene now. Minute 22. Keene lets her rip, looks low. And it's Goodleaf saving that one. Van Every again. Van Every and Vice are going to backpedal here. They get Kevin Sullivan running. Roger Vice up for Travis Bland. Van Every cutting through the middle. He's going to get it, but can't hang on in time to clear the crease. Here's Kevin Sullivan. Van Every giving chase. Sullivan forces him to his back, so he has to take the slash. Here's Torrey Van Every. Crawley coming. Here's Matisse into the stick of Montour. Now Matisse trying to get back on the stick. Montour spins around him, ducks underneath. Dan Keene back to play defense, and there it is. Tom Montour rolls in empty net. And I think Kyle Matisse just met Tom Montour. 31.7 on the clock, 13-10. Don't know if that'll be the final score or not. But the St. Catharines Saints will should pick up their second loss of the season. They're not throwing the white towel yet as Crawley back to the bench. The only man back is John Ray. Mike Atwood at the dot against Murray Porter. And Atwood went running down. Porter laid into him anyways. And now a couple more whacks. How many are they going to let them have? Sutcliffe wants the ball to come back for center. Here's Matisse. Dewey Porter, Dylan Lord. Go immediately on him, does Brock Farmer. Back up for Matisse, he rips a shot. And the save made there by Goodleaf. Porter with a couple whacks in on Matisse. Running down with 10 on the clock is Farmer. Farmer looks wide open, and you can't do that if you try. Off the pipe. The bench asking them to push so they can get the goal differential should these two end in a tie. And the battle between Matisse and Porter continues at center floor, but nothing more will come of it as the horn sounds. What a third period. These two teams have been getting ready to line up against each other all season long. And guess what, folks? They'll do it again. The St. Catharines Saints will travel to Six Nations on July 11th. Be ready for that one. And with the Saints hosting the President's Cup and getting an invitation there, should the Rivermen win, they may have a couple more matches in the postseason. Make it a 13-10 final score. The next home game that we will have for you from the St. Catharines Saints will be July the 3rd when the Brooklyn Merchants come in to face the St. Catharines Saints. Director and producer tonight's been Gary Morrison. On behalf of them, the St. Catharines Saints, and our JVI Sports Network crew, I'm Matthew Carrick, and we will talk to you next time.